John Phillips, and this week I'm joined by Ian Cropper and Eli Freeman as we talk about men's basketball. Guys, it's been a great week. We can't say that often this season, but it has been great. Let's talk about it. First, the Memphis game. We win our first televised game in the Super Pit. A little bit, people would say it's because of the free throws, but I think we deserve that win. What do you guys think?
I think overall it was a good game. It was nice to see the team step up, look like a team for one of the first times this season. Like we all know, they've had a little bit of a rocky start, but I really like seeing them work together, pull out this win.
Ian, how about you? How'd you feel about that game?
I also felt pretty good. It was just a nice, solid game on both sides of the ball. But again, that defense has been carrying us all season. It showed up there scoreless in the final 2 minutes. That really just speaks for itself.
It does, but let's talk a little bit about that free throw difference. You know, we had 41 free throws. They have 15. Anytime the gap is that big in a game, there's going to be questions about the refereeing. Did you guys think that they called a fair game, or do you think that we got a little bit of home cooking in that game, Ian?
I think it was pretty fair. I mean, if you just look all around, we were the better team throughout most of that game. Sure, we got extra free throws, but all around, we were just better.
And this game, it comes after a win against UTSA, and then we go to we play Memphis, and it's a huge win. It's a momentum changer. I mean, what do you guys think that's going to do for the rest of our season? I mean, we already saw a win against Temple. Do you think we're going to continue that momentum, Eli?
I think team morale is a huge thing right now. I think there's this kind of tendency in college sports especially where you see a team fall apart early and then they never get back on their feet. I think this is going to be a really good opportunity for them to be like, hey, we can do this, and kind of get back on the horse and keep this momentum going, hopefully to the playoffs.
Yes, and those games will be important because all 5 of our remaining games are against conference opponents. But still, we are on that 3-game win streak, and our last 2 wins were over teams ranked more highly than us.
And that most recent win is versus Temple. You know, it was a huge comeback. It was a tie for a while. You know, I didn't think we'd bring it out, but we did. 13-point comeback. I mean, who stood out to you guys? What was the game like for you guys?
I mean, one player I need to highlight because we focus plenty on the stars, but we need to talk about E.J. Horton off the bench, the freshman guard who had 12 points, 10 of which were in the second half, and he logged more minutes than every player except the normal stars of Stevenson and Terrell.
When you can have shot making on a team that's been lacking all season, you know, we've said that's our biggest issue, the shot making. When you have a freshman step up and score 10 second half points in a game like this, I mean, that's huge. But what did you think about the Temple game, Eli?
I have to give E.J. Horton his flowers. 12 points, like you mentioned, and career best 4 rebounds, career high 5 steals. Just really solid game from him overall. But overall, like we've talked about before, I think I'll say this for any sport. Your team is only going to be as good as your defense. And if that's not solid, then there's no foundation for your team to stand on, and it's impressive.
That's fair, and a big part of that defense is the big men in the post, you know, and Dylan Arnett, leading scorer against Temple. I mean, did you guys expect that to happen or no?
I mean, he's just been electric all season. The team's leading scorer by a pretty considerable distance. But you also got to give credit to David Terrell Jr. He's kind of been an unsung hero all year. 3rd in the American Conference currently in assists. He's been that great running mate for Stevenson.
Yeah, I mean, Terrell and Stevenson wasn't our backcourt coming into the season, but so far it's performed pretty well. But, you know, we have the rest of the season. It's big. We are on that bubble of the tournament right now. We're in the 9th seed. We're 15-11. Do you guys think that we're going to make it? I mean, do you think we have a shot?
I'm really hoping we'll make it. I'm hoping, like I said, this momentum will kind of be the little push that they need to get into the conference championship. I mean, it's coming up next month. I'm sure we'll cover it here thoroughly.
If UNT makes it.
If UNT makes it.
If not, we're not saying a word about that. I do not care.
If not, we're boycotting the American Conference Championship.
As we should, but Ian, which of these teams around the bubble, you know, with the Rice, ECU, all them, who scares you the most in the American?
I think South Florida is one to look at, but I think the key game for us is going to be our last road game of the season against UAB, because I think that'll tell us how far we go in that tournament, because they are pretty highly ranked, top 4 offense and middle of the pack defense, but still pretty good, especially compared to how often our offense has struggled sometimes. I'm sorry.
It feels like all the teams at the bottom of the American have struggled. You know, we've seen losses to ECU for all the teams at the bubble. We've seen losses to UTSA recently for Charlotte. I mean, if you lose to UTSA, your season is looking rough, but they still have a chance to make the tournament. I mean, do you think that any of these teams even deserve to make the tournament? Do you think they can make a run when we get to that tournament?
I'm not sure. I mean, getting out of the first few rounds is one thing, but actually winning it is another. I actually looked at all the tournament results. There have only ever been 2 times where a team that wasn't the 1 or 2 seed won the tournament. And that one of them was when UConn won it in 2016. They're not even a member of the American anymore.
And as you can see, we are in 9th place. I mean, that is not a spot you want to be with that, with that history. But I mean, Eli, do you think we can make a run? And if so, who's leading us on that run deep?
Hey, man. When I die, put the words "Go Me in Green" on my headstone. Listen, is it super realistic? Like, maybe not, like if I'm being an analyst. But as a UNT student, I'm hoping they'll make some noise. I'm hoping they'll, again, this just like that little push that I think they might be able to do it. I think they might be able to pull something off. We've seen UNT do historic sports feats this season alone. I mean, UNT football, like, why is it so out of the question for basketball is all I'm saying.
Ian, do you think that there's been a lot of questions this season about Coach Robinson because he's had a shaky start, at least compared to Ross Hodge or Graham McCassin, which tough shoes to follow.
Yeah.
But do you think that he's the type of coach that can get the team firing when it matters, in those big moments?
I think so, and we've seen it. Like, the team has been getting momentum these past few weeks. Like, if we can keep that up, then it'll give me a lot of confidence in the coach going forward.
What about you, Eli? Do you have confidence in Coach Robinson going forward?
I do. I feel like one of the biggest things when you're coaching is being able to manage a team that is in a slump and isn't performing their best when it counts the most. And I feel like that's what he's done. They've managed the slump. This is the time of the season where how you're playing right now matters so much for the conference championship, for the playoffs. And so looking at this team right now, seeing how they're being coached right now at this very moment, I feel good.
They've definitely gotten hot, and one of those players that has gotten us hot is Jashawn Stevenson. We talked about E.J. Horton. Yes, he stepped up, but we have to talk about Jashawn Stevenson. I mean, the man's our leading scorer for a reason. He has really stepped up in Will McClendon's absence. I mean, how big has Jashawn Stevenson been to this team's offense?
Absolutely huge, because our team has struggled a lot on offense, so having that one rock-solid starter every single game is a huge asset, especially since it is every single game. With that Temple game, he's had 16 straight games of double-digit points.
I mean, yeah, for a team that struggles scoring, someone who can consistently get you points no matter what, even if they have an off night, they get to the line or they make a couple shots, they get to that 10-point mark, that's huge for a team. But looking forward, I mean, we play a couple of those bubble teams coming up. You mentioned UAB is a big one, but Charlotte is right there with us on the bubble. I mean, that is a huge game to decide who makes the tournament. Eli, how do you see that game going versus Charlotte?
I'm a little nervous. Listen, I think Charlotte's a scary opponent, don't get me wrong. I think it's all going to matter mindset going into this. I think what is focused on in practice in these next few practices leading up to that game is going to be huge. Are you focusing on defense? Are you prioritizing offense? Are you planning on playing both sides of the ball at all times? Like what falls through? So I think what they focus on in practice is going to be the key to how that game goes.
That's fair. I mean, Ian, do you share those thoughts? Do you think that the game depends on practice?
It does depend on practice, but I'm not quite as, I guess, pessimistic as my co-anchor.
Listen.
It's going to be important, but keep in mind, Charlotte around our tier offensively, but much, much worse defensively. That is a clear advantage we have. Of course, it will be hard going on the road, but I do think we take care of business there.
That's fair, and we do have to mention Charlotte lost to UTSA. We've had some rough losses, we've had some rough games, but UTSA, that's a game that I don't even think we could lose. We beat them by 20 points just now, but
no matter what happens this season, we didn't lose to UTSA.
Hey, I mean, that's all we can say.
Yeah, I haven't seen a performance that bad against the Roadrunners since Wile E. Coyote.
Sadly, that is all the time we have for the season. Hopefully we can make the tournament. Next up, we will be talking about women's basketball. Join me after this commercial break.